oh boy, 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 boy, oh boy, boy. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. I'm saying oh boy because the setup was nice this morning, but then the wind kicked up to my left. The next storm is coming through, and people are like, "Oh, why don't you just live stream from the house?" I don't like live streaming from the house in the summertime. I don't like that at all. And I live stream every single day, and I don't take a day off really unless the weather is bad. So if I'm not out here first thing in the morning, it just means the weather sucks and I'm going to take a day. That's it. That's all it's about. Ken Mosca, you're first on the whole damn thing. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning to John Koritz. Good morning, Open Squad. Glad you're okay. Oh, I'm all right. I forgot. Yeah, I should explain. So we were live streaming yesterday. We were having a damn good live stream. We were talking about Kamala Harris's pick for the VP with the Tim Walz. And next thing you know, I guess Kamala Harris didn't appreciate what I was saying. She came flying by on her broom, and she knocked me off my own live stream. That's what happened yesterday, and I'm sticking to that. I could have set up again, but at that point, I'm like, you know what? This is considering the camera went flying and the MacBook went flying. I think this is a good place to stop. So that's all I did. I stopped the live stream, but that was wild yesterday. Wild as the wind picked up, or Kamala Harris swooping by on her broom. You decide what it was. You know, in this new world we live in, you can really, really get into conspiracy stuff. So let's go with the fact that Kamala Harris flew by on her broom, didn't like what I was saying, and knocked me off my live stream. But here we are. I don't know. I don't know how long we're going to last today. It's kind of exciting. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very different than doing a radio show in a studio where it's a controlled environment, man. Out here, you deal with the elements. Like I said, the wind's kicking up because we got really dark clouds to my left. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes today. Anthony Wayne, Opie, his lady dies still alive. I don't know, Anthony. Haven't done the Opie and Anthony show in 10 years. I have no idea. Mike Long, is Boston in Boston until Saturday? Oh, man, I want to take my trip to Boston. I want to go down by the river. Ooh. The Standells talking about the River Charles. That's where I saw her. You know that the damn Standells weren't even from Boston. I thought they were a Boston band. They were from California. I had no idea. And they only had one hit. Love that dirty water. And this is where it gets squirrely. Boston, you're my home. No, it's not. California is your home. No, it's not. You know, John Fogerty also did that by making believe he was he was from down south. Born in the bayou. No, you weren't born in the bayou. You were born in Northern California. And it seems like you were a bit on the privileged side, Mr. Fogerty. Not taking shots at the John Fogerty. He was always good to me. Scott K giving me $4.99. Thank you, Scott K, because I think I need a new camera. And my mouse pad doesn't work anymore after the wind gust. It's coming and going, so we'll see. Jedi Grind, $10. Good morning, GH. Good morning, Jedi Grind. It's me and you. It's me and you. Here we go. Richie Rich. Who the man? We missed you yesterday, Richie Rich. You didn't do who the man on my live stream yesterday. Who the man? Because I would have picked Tim Walz just because, the headlines were about the Tim Walz being the VP pick for the Kamala Harris. Who the man? Who the man today? Who the man? Who comes to mind? Is it Trump? Because people are like, where's Trump? They can't find the Trumpster. Maybe he's just taking a couple days for himself. Maybe he just needs to chill out a little bit, this Trump guy. But there's a hashtag online right now saying, where's Trump? But I got to come up with who the man on the spot today. I'm thinking, I'm reaching, thinking what I saw on the TV. I am going to go with a thing today. Is that okay, Richie Rich? You didn't make the rules for who the man. So I'm going to make my own rules. Today, who the man is a thing. It's underwater hineys. Underwater hineys at the Olympics. That's the man today. Thank you, Olympics. Thank you very much. I never knew that I liked, what was it called? Artistic swimming. I had no idea that I would enjoy artistic swimming. But they show the underwater hiney shots, and man, I'm all in. The Olympics bathing suits, the Olympic track gear, it's unbelievable. They might as well be doing their sport naked at this Olympics. That's the headline of these Olympics. How skimpy the bikinis are and how skimpy the outfits are. Good God. So with that, I say turn on the Olympics coverage. And make sure you check out some underwater hineys because that is the man today, Richie Rich. Dude guy, what do you want? Tim Walz is a coward. When his unit was about to deploy to Iraq, he backed the F out. I think that's why a lot of people like the Tim Walz because he's a real dude. Because there's a lot of people that would be cowardice when it comes to serving these United States of America. I don't know. It's stolen valor, they're saying. Look, if we got to be fair here, what's going on with the Tim Walz? Is it stolen valor? Because that's no bueno. That's not good. That ain't good, right? Hell no. How are the tomatoes this year? I mean, if the weather holds up, I will show you how the tomatoes are. A complete disaster on the kid growing tomatoes at the ocean. You know what's weird about growing tomatoes at the ocean? The salt water that just comes off the ocean all day long in a fine mist. The plants don't like salt water on their leaves. So wait till you see my tomato plant. That'll be the big get today. We'll end with that. That'll be the closing ceremony of this live stream or a live stream in the very near future. All right, why don't we say hi to the man, Ron Wader.
Hi, everybody. You know what? I've always wanted to say this on the radio.
Yeah.
I probably won't say it like him. Good morning, Vietnam.
well, you're gonna good morning, Vietnam, but you're gonna have to find a radio station so you can do it. This is just me live streaming from my deck because I've been blackballed in the business, Rod.
Hold on. I just heard you complaining about getting salt on your tomatoes. There's nothing more delicious than salt on a fresh tomato. What are you talking about? That's like a nice snack. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ron the waiter.
Wait a minute.
No, you need to grow the tomatoes to get to the point where you can put salt on the tomatoes. The problem is my tomatoes. I got one branch that has 7 cherry tomatoes on it, and that is it. The rest of the tomatoes. You want to see the tomatoes? No, I don't want to pull out my back, but basically, my tomato plants are not growing tomatoes because I don't know what I did wrong this year. The whole thing decided to start dying about 2 weeks ago.
You're not the first guy to say to me, "Hey, you want to see my tomatoes?"
Oh, look at that! A little more info on Ron the Waiter and his private life.
From what I can see behind you, the ocean looks very angry today.
It is angry. Is this like is this the Hurricane Debbie? Because you get a tropical depression, I think they're called, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Let's say somewhere near Cuba, and it affects the waves up here. That's crazy. But we got muddy, dirty, 10-foot waves behind me.
We're getting Debbie tomorrow.
So wait, another day of this rain?
Yeah, this has nothing to do with Debbie. This is still from yesterday. Debbie is coming Friday into Saturday morning.
Are you serious? Another day of this? Another day of this?
And Opie, you're right. Like whenever there's I get serious water damage in Astoria, it's always from a fucking tropical storm that started in Florida because Ida. I was in a hotel for a month because of Ida. Because by the time, do you remember 13 people drowned in their basement apartments in Astoria?
Oh,
Queens?
I do remember that.
Right. So that was Ida. By the time Ida came up here, it was a tropical storm. And Yeah,
See,
yeah.
Ron, another cute name for a hurricane, Hurricane Ida. No one's getting in the way of Hurricane Ida. No one's worrying about Hurricane Debbie. We gotta name these hurricanes nasty names. You want to come up with a couple of them there, Ron?
Karen, Hurricane Karen.
No,
No.
that's actually a good one. That is a good place to start. I'll go with. I'll get a little controversial. I'll go with Hurricane Tyrone. Your turn. Your turn.
I'm not joking. I swear to God, I was going to say Hurricane Noxzema.
Noxzema. Someone's been to Harlem.
Yeah, or Boston.
Oh, Boston has that too, where some of the kids are named like this is Noxzema.
Yeah, it's just like shampoo products. I don't know what it is.
I don't know, but yeah, we would get out of the way of hurricanes if the names were a bit scarier.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike Berger Jr. wants you to suck your toe on the live stream. Are we going to do that today, Ron the Waiter? Can you show us a demonstration of you sucking your toe? Obviously, people heard the fine.
What is this, OnlyFans?
Huh? Oh, the OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, people heard the podcast from Get Thoughts. It's up on the podcast feed, Opie Radio, if you haven't. And Ron the Waiter admitted that he could suck his own toe. He chews his own toenails. I don't know why do you do that?
Because I'm unable to pick my toenails with my fingernails because my fingernails are too short. Because I bite my fingernails, but you need fingernails to pick your toenails. So I just go. I cut out the. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. How about a nail clipper?
Here's the thing. There's like 4 or 5 of those on top of the toilet.
Yeah.
Bowl, like in a porcelain. My roommate has like this porcelain Winnie the Pooh, where he does, and he's got like the nail clipper, all the metal clippers, the filers that,
yeah.
And what happens is that little Winnie the Pooh collects water and moisture, so everything in there is in molded water. So I feel it's safer just to use my mouth.
Yeah,
does that make sense? I mean, I could show you.
Yeah, if you want to show me, that'd be wonderful. That sounds absolutely gross. Absolutely gross.
Yeah, because like when you take out a clipper, it's like it's wet.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. John Kors just gave us 4. Well, no, he gave me, Ron. If I do crazy good with the super chats, then I'll ask you for your Venmo. But until then, I'm taking all the super chats and buying you a beer next time I see you at Get Parts.
Well, I remember last time I asked, I brought that up. You almost had a temper tantrum. All right, Ron.
Well, of course I did, Ron. Of course I did, because it's frustrating that we're not making a lot of money doing this right now, even though
we got to figure it out.
Very, very good. All right, I didn't forget. Last time you were on, it was getting late in the live stream, and you were going to tell me, why you don't talk to your mommy. And your mommy, for those who don't know, once again, left Ron's daddy when Ron was, what, 7?
So, yeah, just so you don't think like...
A refresher, Ron, a refresher for the people.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a refresher. I just don't want you to think like, you ungrateful piece of shit. Everything your mother did for you and you don't appreciate it. Nah, she didn't do shit. Dude, when my mother... Fuck that. When I was 7 years old...
Yeah.
My mother chased poontang, and my mother at 7 years old ran off with another woman.
Right.
So I mean that's the context. So, and my mother's crazy. Like my mother is like a crazy bold like lesbian.
Right.
And her and her partner, for context, the woman she ran off with when I was 7 years old, matter of fact, she is still with that same woman. She is, hey, guess what? She's related to Rob. She's related to, who's the guy who left the beer in the park?
Oh, my God, you can't get this straight. Robert Kennedy Jr. How is she related to Robert Kennedy Jr.?
She's a third generation Kennedy. She's related to Robert Kennedy Jr. on that side. Swear to God. I can prove it. I can show her pictures. She got the buck teeth, and she kind of has that cadence a little bit. and I'll say this: she's probably the smartest person I've ever met. She's like so fucking smart. So like, she's got the Kennedy brains,
Right.
and she is. She's not a pretty lesbian. She's what a Kennedy Bull Dyke lesbian would look like. Buck teeth, mullet, and she really was shunned from the family. Like, you know what I mean? You know, these are Irish Catholics. You can't have a Bull Dyke lesbian. So she was given some money and told to like don't say anything, to scram. And my mother ran off with her, and they started what is now a pretty well known, famous. They started a gay publishing company.
Yeah. We know most of this stuff, but what I want to know today is, it sounds like the Kennedys are not good people, because back in the day they had a funny one that they put in a home. Now, if you're a lesbian in the family, according to Ron the waiter, allegedly they disown you. They don't like the Robert Kennedy Jr. guy. They have disowned him. Although I almost don't blame him on that one, considering what he did with the baby cub and dumping it in Central Park after he found it on the road on the way to some falconry he was doing for the weekend. And he was going to bring it home and chop the thing up and put the damn meat in his freezer, and he didn't have time, so he left it in Central Park and made believe a bicyclist ran it over.
It's almost like an SNS. And now, you know, he said, hey, maybe I could have gotten the brain-eating worm from eating bear meat.
Oh, so my God.
First of all, did you see the picture? He took a picture of it before he dumped it in Central Park.
Yeah.
He's got his hand in the bear's mouth, and there's like saliva and blood. How do you know the fucking thing didn't have rabies?
Well,
but yeah.
All good serial killers take pictures, you know, so they have a few trophies.
They do.
Right. So I just want to say thank you to Paul giving us $1.99. I don't want this to go by without at least acknowledging these guys. And then John, another $1.99. He says, "Morning, GH and Ron, the toe sucker."
I you know what? I do suck toes. Like, you have to be super hot, but like, if you're super hot, I'll lick your tushy and suck your toes. A woman. Anyways, it's true though. You got to be hot.
No,
anyway,
it's got to be a switch, because I know there's a lot of guys and gals out there that are into feet. It has to be a switch in your body, because you either love it or hate it. To me, I'm like, God, I'll rub them a little bit. If you put your really nice soft socks on, I'll rub them a little bit.
I was with a girl who was like, her big toe was like 3 times the size of mine. It was gross. It was like a man. But if you're a cute girl with cute little feet, I like to do a lot of things with it. Anyways, let's get back to my mother.
Yeah, please, Ron. I'm on your show now. Let's go.
Yeah. And so what I did find, I don't believe in coincidence, and I thought this was kind of odd or not odd that like you and I are dealing with this same situation. So here's the deal. My mother took off. My mother didn't really raise me. Then I was forced to live with her after high school because I had nowhere to go in Boston. Anyways, we're in COVID. We are in COVID now. And I worked in a restaurant, and all restaurants closed due to COVID. But I'm also in the Screen Actors Guild. I'm in the union. And because of COVID, a cottage industry grew up, and you needed a COVID compliance officer to be on film and television sets. Otherwise, the production couldn't go forward. That was one of the new SAG union rules. And I had friends who took the course, and they're making $32 an hour. They're making serious fucking money. $32 an hour. All the overtime you want. They're making up to like $50 an hour.
Yeah.
And you literally cannot shoot a commercial television film without COVID compliance officers on set, because you don't want the set to keep shutting down for people getting sick, because it will cost a fortune. So you're walking around, you're social distancing people, everyone has to have masks on, there's sanitizer, you're checking temperatures. So anyways, I needed a job. So I take the course. It's a 5-hour course, and it's $200. And you take the course for 5 hours, and then you have to take the test right after. And either you pass it or you don't. And I passed it. I'm excited. So I call my mother. I'm like, hey, Ma, guess what? I got a job. And I said, I am now a COVID compliance officer. And literally the first thing out of her mouth is, Jesus Christ, Ronnie. It's did you get scammed? COVID compliance officer. It sounds like a bullshit job. No, this is a real thing, Ma. Like, you have to, you had to, what is it, Ronnie? Like, well, because you have to have, like a specialist on set to make sure people are protecting themselves so the set doesn't shut down. Oh my COVID, Ronnie, what are you, stupid? It's a scam, Ronnie. I never heard of such a thing. Ronnie, how much did they take from you? And I said, well, it was $200. Mary and Mary, the
Kennedy that you've talked about ad nauseum, right?
Yeah, it's in the bedroom.
The Kennedy, right?
Mary, can you believe this? Fucking Ronnie got scammed. This COVID compliance thing. I've never heard of such a. Ronnie, how stupid could you be? It doesn't exist. Mom, I'm telling you, people do it. Like, it's $32 an hour. Oh my God. And then I said, you know what, Ma? I'm going to send you the picture of the certificate. I sent it to her. Ronnie, it's not even real. Ronnie, I said $200 for you. Mary, have you ever heard of COVID compliance officer? Ronnie, I swear to God. Ronnie, I got to go. Ronnie, I can't take. Opie, this is a real conversation. My mother's crazy.
Jesus, exhausting.
No, this is a real thing. Oh, Ronnie, you're driving me fucking crazy. I can't take it no more. You just threw $200 away. Ronnie, I'm not sending you no more money. Ronnie, I gotta go. And then she hangs up.
Right.
But here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
She never hung up. Like she forgot to hang up. And Opie, for the next hour and like 20 minutes,
right,
she went on a tirade about me, and I realized she ain't doing it for my benefit. Like, she thinks she's in the privacy of her own home with Mary.
Yeah.
And this is how she truly feels about her son. And by the way, my roommate, I'm in the living room. My roommate's behind me, like in the den at his little desk. So then I hear, my mother thinks I hung up. By the way, when she realized she didn't hang up, she fucking panicked. So anyways, she thinks she hangs up. Oh my God, Mary, I know this is a horrible thing to say as a mother, but honest to God, I wish I never had this fucking kid. Mary, I don't want this kid to call me no more. He's driving me fucking crazy. Mary's a fucking moron. Oh my God, he's fucking retarded. Mary, he got scammed. I can't take it no more. I'm not sending this kid any more fucking money. Honest to God, Mary. And then it would go in and out. I didn't hang up. And then it would it'd be 5 minutes of silence, 10 minutes of silence. Mary, and then she started making up things. Mary, I swear to God, he's like his fucking father. He was a fucking moron. Fat fuck, blah, blah, blah. And then you hear Mary go, Randy, I tried to warn you about him. He's
my God.
Well, Mary has it out for me because my freshman year at Northeastern University, Northeastern University closes for the Christmas vacation. You can't be on campus. So I went back home, and Mary wouldn't let me back in the house. She's like, you didn't give us a warning. You're going to have to stay on the street. I don't give a shit. You just can't come back. And I'm like, well, I have nowhere to go. The Northeastern University's closed. Well, you figure it out. And that's really the only time my mother saved me. My mother's like, no, you're not throwing my son out on the street. But that's how Mary feels about me.
Wow.
Mary really doesn't like men.
How does this make you feel, Ron the waiter? I'm gonna be Dr. Phil. How does this make you feel?
So
is this why you fall in love with a fur?
So I'm hearing my mother. I swear to God, Mary, I don't want him to call me anymore. He's a fucking loser. I wish I'd have maybe blah blah blah. And some sort of primordial, it had to happen. For me to move on with my life, it had to happen. It was like the primordial valves opened up. And Opie, when I say I had no control, for 30 minutes, Opie. Wailing. Like that, like pouring, like like that. I'm not 30 minutes, and I look at and there's and my roommate. He looks albino. He doesn't know what to do. And I'm not doing that on purpose. Like I'm. By the way, I'm trying to stop. I can't even stop. And it was built up. You know what it is? I think I needed to hear it. Like it was like the universe telling me, "Hey, Ron, you're not moving on. You're stuck. You're stuck with this. She moved on from you. You need to move on from your mother. Like maybe like spiritually or like psychologically. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think I ever believed that my mother could just abandon me and not love me. And then I heard it when she didn't think I was listening, and she really did not love me.
Right.
And I was like, I needed to hear it for me to move on, for me to get where I go, because I'm going to big places. I really am a talented guy. I needed to get that psychic energy separate from it.
Right.
And you know what it reminded me of? Remember John Lennon had a song about his mother? Remember that?
Yeah.
Didn't John? Okay, that's what it felt like.
Well, what it's reminding me of is Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono, who broke up the Beatles and then ruined John Lennon's solo career with that wailing.
So, by the way, so this is crazy. First of all, my roommate's freaking out, and he's trying to look at me, but he doesn't want me to see he's looking at him because he's like, he didn't know what to, he's like, should I help him? He didn't know what to do. And he's like,
he knew you were vulnerable, and he was going to swoop in and turn the Ron the waiter guy.
He was gonna pacify me with his penis in my mouth.
Oh wow! We didn't say that. Okay. What are you doing, Ron the waiter? John Cordes is piping in $4.99. Wait, Ron, go back to the Kennedy part. Said nobody. Wow, you wailed over your mom. That really?
Opie, I've never, before or after, I've never had that emotional outburst ever. It was uncontrollable crying for 30 minutes that was waiting to come out so I could. By the way, when it was done, I felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Sure.
And so now I work at weekends at the Bohemian Beer Garden, and one of their biggest festivals is they have this lesbian fair, like lesbian arts and crafts, like market, like flea market, and it's massive. It's like it's from the tri-state area. It's one of the biggest like lesbian arts and crafts.
Yeah.
So one of the booths, this woman wrote a book, and I started reading the back of it, and then so it turns out the woman who wrote this book, she wrote a book. By the way, the woman who wrote the book is Polish. My mother's Polish. The woman who wrote the book is Jewish. My mother's Jewish.
Oh my God! What are the odds? What are the odds?
The woman who wrote the book is a lesbian. My mother's lesbian. The woman who wrote the book is from the same fucking town in Poland as my mother. So the woman wrote a book. Exactly what happened to my mother. She wrote a book where she got married and had a child.
Right.
And then I assume you're laughing at the comments. Oh my
well, Linda says make it stop. Dude guy says get this guy off of here. That ain't happening. That's crying sound will haunt me. When a run-on sentence continues to go on. These guys are funny, Ron. They're funny. Yoko in a bag screaming to Memphis, Tennessee. Oh my God, Darren Simpson! I bow to you with the reference. They're playing Memphis, Tennessee, and there's Yoko doing a Ron the Waiter impression. I don't want to wake up my neighbors, Ron the Waiter. All right, continue, Ron. Continue. I'm sorry.
Did you hear me?
Oh my! Will you stop fiddling with your audio? We were doing good.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened.
We were doing good, Ron. Why you keep
I can hear, buddy.
about?
I can hear you. So
yeah, great. Now the audio's different. That's all right. That's not going to freak me out, as you know, and my OCD. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead. Oh, now you muted yourself. That's good, Ron. Now you muted. Ron, you muted yourself. Ron, why did you fiddle up? Is this like Groundhog Day every time I have Ron with?
I'm gonna reconnect with you.
No,
I'm coming back in a minute.
I got you, Ron. I got you. Just stay doing whatever. Stop fiddling. Stop touching shit. Stop putting your toes in your goddamn mouth. Stop crying over your damn mom. Stop falling in love with ferns. Continue.
Okay, so
right, we're good. Don't touch anything.
You're low on your end, but I can hear you.
Well, too bad it's not low on your end, Ron. Too bad it's not low on your end.
So anyways, now listen to this. So the woman has the same situation my mother had.
Oh, right.
She got married, she had a child, and she realized she wasn't living her authentic life. Can you hear me?
We can hear you,
yeah.
Ron.
And so she ended up leaving her husband and son for another woman so she can live her authentic life. And I'm like, that's exactly what happened to my mother.
Right.
And Polish, Jewish, same fucking town. So then before she leaves, she finds me. Before she leaves, she finds me and gives me the book and writes an inscription to my mother, like a beautiful fucking
right,
you know, blah blah blah. And
by the way, I liked this story the last two times you told me, but continue. But please continue.
Opie, can I reconnect with you? I'm having an issue. I'm going to reconnect with you. I'm going to be back in 2 minutes.
All right.
I love everybody.
All right, Ron. Jesus. All right, Ron's gonna reconnect again. I don't know what he's doing. Ron. All right, Ron. Santa Maria says lesbian flea market or lesbian flea market. Man, you know, going to a lesbian flea market, that sounds like it would be a lot of fun, don't you think? I think it'd be amazing. I just found my new ringtone, Vincent Scaramuzzo says. Hell yeah. Ron rules, Jedi Grind says. I trust Jedi Grind. Of course he rules. He's fun to play off. All right, we're waiting for Ron to connect. I don't know. Ron, coffee or Coke this morning? That's a very good question, JFK. A very good question. You can knock Ron off balance, Andy Vollen. Yeah. Why would you wail? Like, I've had issues with my mama, but I never wailed over her. You know, you get people in your life, you realize even though they're family, you got to set up some boundaries. So I set up boundaries with my own mom. We could get into that another day. But Ron wailed. Ron was wailing over his mom. I see Ron. There's something called the green room, and I see him clicking in and out. But he had to fiddle about. He had to. I told him off live stream. I'm like, don't fiddle with anything. If it's going, just don't touch any. But of course, he had to touch something. I could open my window and hear you, Ron. I'm in Pennsylvania. Yeah. Can you hear me? Unfortunately, yes, we can, says Bren. Yeah, I don't think Ron's coming back once again. Love you, Hope. Cheers, but his voice is like nails on a chalkboard. Well, we understand that, Joseph. You know, if you don't like one of these, that's fine with me. It's okay. It's all right. Mike O'Donnell says I'm on mute. Here we go. Linda, I escaped an abusive relationship. I'd rather relive that. Oh, I'd rather relive that than hear Ron anymore. I don't mean to laugh, Linda. Jesus. Comedy. Sometimes you got to find comedy in the dark places, right, Linda? Of course you do. Ron is exhausting in a good way. Yes, he's exhausting to me because now he's gone. He's been gone so long. He's been gone. The Chilliwax, right? So many final shirts at the lesbian flea market. All right, Ron, you're
All
back.
right, we're back. We're back, baby.
Oh, I'm so glad we're back with worse audio. What are you doing? Don't touch anything. We'll finish up with bad audio and we'll get the hell out of here.
Okay, now so listen to this. So this woman tracks me down before she leaves. It's a big area, and she goes, "Hey, I wrote this." She goes, "I really feel it's important," and she knows I haven't spoken to my mother.
Right.
So she's like, "I'm telling you, believe me, it's crucial that you reconnect with your mother." And I'm like, "It's a sign, okay? Like this is too weird. This woman is telling me, Ronnie, you must reconnect with your mother." Right. So she writes this beautiful inscription. So I call my mother, and she goes, "Promise me you'll call your mother today." She literally said that. I'm like,
"Oh my!" I hear that stuff from time to time, and I go, "No."
Promise me you'll do it. And I'm like, well, this is a sign from the universe. So, and I haven't spoken to my mother like this, probably 2 years at this point, year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
I call my mother and I say, and she goes, yeah. Because she's waiting for me to lay into her. Because I've done it before. Like, you fucking cunts. I called her. Oh, yeah.
Wow, Ron. Wow. Most of us haven't had coffee yet, Ron.
That's all right.
Word around, Ron.
We call each other bad names. By the way, so she goes, yeah. And I said, hey, listen, I'm sending you something. And she goes, what is it, ticking? Like I said, and I said, listen, and I explained to her the situation. And I said, I met this woman, blah, blah, blah. And she knows of the pink pages, and she knows of you and Mary, and very similar situations. And she wants us to reconnect. And I said, so I'm going to put it in the mail today. And you should get it in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay, Ronnie. Thank you. Beep. And then she hangs up.
Oh my God.
She probably thinks I was fucking with her. 2 weeks go by. I pick up the phone. I'm like, hey, Ma, did you get the book or what? It just came today at the post office. I'll pick it up later. Beep.
Oh my God.
So that was last summer. So I attempted last summer to reconnect with my mother, and that was how the response was. And I was convinced we were going to reconnect because this woman was like, it's meant to be. You have to call her today. What about, are you planning on calling your mother?
Me?
Yeah, no?
No, Ron.
No.
Get the hint.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's mean or not, but since then, my mother has reached out to me on 3 or 4 separate occasions, and I didn't respond. Like for my birthday and stuff like that. And then she had Mary call once and go, Mary left a voice message saying, Ron, if you can find it in your heart, give your mother a call, please. She really wants to hear from you. And I didn't. I mean, the woman... Yeah, go ahead.
I laugh because I think we have similar moms. They do evil shit, and then they get other people to, like, my mom really can't write anymore, so now she has other people write letters. That hasn't happened in a while either. But or get someone else to call. She really needs and wants to talk to you. And I'm like, go screw.
Yeah, I think it was like my birthday, and like I think she called once or twice, and then Mary called and left a message. She goes, hi, Ronnie. Your mother's tried to call you. She wants to wish you a happy birthday. It would mean the world to her. Yeah. Meanwhile, that's the woman who wanted to put me on the street. So fuck her.
I wanted it to be about you today, but you did ask, so I'll give you this much. So my whole career blew up. I don't know, God, 6 or 7 years ago at this point. You know, I had the world by the balls, making crazy money. Had a great radio show, working with people I really liked, and then Sirius XM technically gave me the pipe, but in the end, they just didn't renew my contract. They did right by me. I officially wasn't fired. But the day that they did give me the pipe, I was in this house feeling like crap. I'm like, I blew it. All I had to do was behave. I was working with Carl Ruiz and Vic Henley, and all I had to do was behave. I loved what I was doing with those guys. So I was really bummed and taking responsibility that I really fucked things up, Ron. Yeah. And then my phone is like, this phone right here, I should throw it in the ocean. It's my mom. I'm like, oh, she must have heard that I got the pipe from Sirius XM. And then I answer the phone, right? And she goes, I got your flowers today. I'm like, all right, right. She goes, they were late. Who says I got your flowers today, but they were late? And then she starts talking about all the cards I never sent her. Like I never sent her a Valentine's Day card, a Christmas card, a Mother's Day card, a fucking Groundhog's Day card, an Independence Day's card. So now she's listing all the cards I never sent her because she was really obsessed with cards. Like when we were kids, right? And we forgot to get my mom a Mother's Day card. Oh, I'll give you some stuff today, Ron. So we would be kids, like kids with no responsibilities yet. And, you know, Mother's Day is happening and there's no card from mommy. She loses her effing mind and starts screaming and yelling at us that we're just terrible kids. Who doesn't get a card from their mother for Mother's Day? And then my enabling dad, who I dearly love, who died 20 years ago, coming up next week. He goes, hey, why don't you kids go to the stationery store and get a Mother's Day card? I'm like, ew. Even as a kid, I knew this was wrong. I'm like, it's too late. She just screamed that we're terrible people. So then we would go to the stationery store, right? And then we pick out one of those cards that says, you're the greatest mom in the whole damn world, Ron. We got one of those, right? We signed it and we gave it to her. And then all of a sudden, she's like, oh, what's this? And then now she's all happy because she got her card and she's reading how great she is as a mom as we're sitting there like sobbing that we had to go through this exercise to make her happy, Ron, to make her happy. So anyway, fast forward, I get the pipe from the Sirius XM. She says, you know, I got your flowers. They were late. And then she lists all the cards that I never sent her because, you know, we didn't have that relationship anymore. I was trying to move on with my goddamn life and build walls around me. You got to build walls around you when you got people like this in your life, Ron the waiter.
It's called self-care.
And then me and my wife were looking like, as she's screaming about all the cards she never got, I'm like, holy shit, I got 2 kids. She never sent like anything to them, like literally nothing to them. It's not about you anymore. You're now a grandma. Who gives a crap that you're not receiving cards? You should be the one sending cards and visiting your grandchildren. So I just went like this, Ron the waiter. Old days, it would be slam the phone down, but I went beep, beep. And I haven't talked to her since, and I feel pretty good about it, Ron the waiter. I feel pretty good about it.
And just for clarification, you said I haven't spoken to her since. How long are we talking?
Whenever Sirius XM got me the pipe, literally the day my agent called me and said, you're done. The next call was from my mom, literally like she knew. And she I think she wanted to turn the screws and really make it hurt. And my wife, she's hilarious because, you know, over the years, my phone will ring and I'll see mom, right? And I won't answer it. She goes, man, you're a glutton for punishment, just like you did, Ron, where you were still chasing. I'm like, I didn't have to answer that call that day. And I knew 9 out of 10 that it was going to be bad and not good. But I picked it up. That's on me, Ron. Yeah. Sometimes, listen, you're not meant to be with your mother and your father for the rest of your life either. And that's not realistic. No.
I don't know.
No, stop chasing her, Ron. You know, she every time she sees you, she's reminded that she wasn't able to be a lesbian at a much earlier age, and it bothers her. So stop chasing her.
And I got a card. By the way, we didn't exchange fucking birth. I never got my mother a birthday anything. And
Right.
the only time my mother ever got me a card is because she thought it was funny, and she got me a card. Mommy Dearest with the coat hanger.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was Joan Crawford.
Oh, yeah.
So my mother sent me a card with Joan Crawford with the wire hanger saying "Mommy Dearest loves you." Ha ha ha! that was a birthday card for my mother.
That first of all, that's hilarious. Respect to your mom on that one.
No, my mother's very funny.
Second of all, Mommy Dearest, you want to trigger the kid. That's the movie that triggers the kid.
Yeah.
Because my mom, if let's say you got your room that you really gave a shit about, right? And you got all your beer cans on the wall, all nice. You got your baseball card collection over here. You got a little radio set up over here, right? I'm too old. We didn't have TVs in our own rooms yet, but your room's set up all nice. You really give a shit about it, right? And then all of a sudden you leave your sneakers in the middle of your room. You don't put the sneakers in the closet. Well, next thing you know, your entire room is on the driveway, Ron, on the driveway, over shoes that weren't put in the closet.
Was that with you, or she did that with all her children?
Oh yeah, yeah. I decided to be like the goody two shoes son. Try to stay out of her way. I stayed out of the house. That's why, like, when I discovered caddying, I was at the golf course no less than 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, and played a lot of basketball in my driveway, and pretty much was like, all right, when I'm 18, I'm out of here.
It's funny. We both have
college. I picked a college that was very far away, where they couldn't just knock on the door and visit.
Right.
They couldn't visit. It would have to be a thing, and something about it being a thing meant that I could finally breathe at night, Ron.
So we both have overbearing mothers. Well, no, I'm sorry. We both have crazy mothers.
Yes.
Yours is overbearing, and my abandoned me. That's a fuck. We should get your mother and my mother together. The ultimate reality show.
They would probably get along and laugh and laugh. Oh, hi. So you're Ron the waiter's mom. Nice to meet ya.
So we got 2 loser sons.
No, my mom was no, that's you, Ron. My mom was actually really proud of me, Ron. She had just
Oh, really?
Yeah, very proud of me. No, she had, unfortunately, my mom, I'll give you the good part too. She was had an amazing personality, a really good storyteller. She could make friends wherever she went, but there was something about having 7 kids because of the goddamn Catholic Church, Ron, and living in that house, that she allowed the darkness to take over. You got light and you got darkness, and her light was pretty damn bright, but she decided to let those clouds that you see to my left come swooping in. And she does, and that's what happened to my mom. But no, she was proud of me. She listened to the radio show a lot and all that, but the other side was just exhausting.
Sounds like Christmas morning was probably fun in a household like that with a lot of, you have 7, including you, 7 kids?
Well, I say 7, 8, or 9 because we were bringing in other kids as well.
Wow.
They presented my sister's best friend as my sister one day. That's a story I've told many times. Maybe I could tell you it another day, Ron. But Christmas was lovely. Yeah. Especially when she would go in another room and cry hysterically because she had shitty Christmases. That was always fun. Yeah. As you're, checking out your brand new 10-speed bike and really, really excited that they went all out for Christmas, because my parents did go all out for Christmas. We grew up very poor, and one of the reasons was because they went all out for Christmas, and the credit card bills were so insane that my mom would be in front of the wood-burning stove, Ron, cutting them up, cursing corporate America and burning her credit cards in the wood-burning stove. But Christmas morning, she would go off to another room and just bawl about the shitty Christmases she had. And I always said this, like, it sucks when you have a bad childhood. My mom's childhood was horrendous. Mine wasn't horrendous, to be honest with you. I wish some things were different, of course, but her childhood was horrendous. But I once even told her when I was older, I'm like, what? Yeah, knock it off. I'm like, my dad gave you, and you can't say knock it off to my mom. Oh, that would settle. What do you mean knock it? What do you mean knock it off? Couldn't have a normal conversation about like heavy things that might be bothering you about her. So you had to be very, very careful. But I did say it very carefully. I'm like, Daddy, Daddy has given you like 20 amazing Christmases. So why are you focusing on the bad ones all these years later?
Was that a mistake to say that?
No, man. Oh, Michelle just gave us a super sticker, $2.99. All right, listen, Ron, I got to go. I'm freezing. The rain is coming. We did it. I wanted to talk about your fern. So now, you son of a bitch, you're going to force me to put you back on the live stream so you can talk about your fern that you're in love with.
You want to see the fern?
Let's end with the viewing of the fern that you're in love with. Ron the waiter, he told me at Get Bots that he's in love with a fern. I don't know if he actually said it that way, but it's pretty obvious. He's really obsessed and in love with his fern. How do I turn the picture around? How do I turn the picture around? I don't know, Ron. How about you just put the fern in front of your face? Can you see it? Oh wow! Look at that! Look at that! No, it's gotten some real growth. Oh wow! Look at that! Yeah, just go away, Ron. Go away! Go away! Hold on. You want to see the gross? You want to see the gross Winnie the Pooh thingy? Oh yeah, that you teased earlier. This will be an amazing. Oh, it's even worse. It's not even a Winnie the Pooh. It's a toilet thingy. Can you see it? Oh my god! And there's mold on that stuff. Look at that! Oh my god! You see the rust? Do you see the rust? Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Why do you have a weird clock in your bathroom? Why do you have like antiques all over the place? Where you live it? Why you got mold on the ceiling? By the way, that's not mold. What is it, Ron? That's when my roommate dyes his hair. How does it make it to the ceiling? So because that's when the water hits the black dye, it hits up into the. That's not mold, dude. That's black dye. That's black dye on the ceiling of your shower? Yes. And why is your shower in the middle of your living room? I don't get the layout of your apartment. What do you mean? It's not in the middle of my living room. All right. Yeah. But look. Yeah, but I'm going to show you. Why was there antiques in your bathroom? That's weird, don't you think? Doesn't this look like a nice Norman Rockwell little fridge? Sure. See, now here's... Right. Say hello to Astoria. Hi, Astoria. I used to live there from the age of 0 to, I don't know, almost 5. And then we got the hell out of there. I told you, this is considered one of the top 10 cities in the world to live in. Is Astoria right now? All right, Ron. Can we go now? Can we go? Well, that's up to you. Huh? Yes. All right. I'm going. Then I'm going, Ron. Just like that. Then we're going.